Hey kiddos, here comes another fun science experiment. Here we go. First thing you need always, grown-ups permission, grown-ups permission, grown-ups permission. You're going to be getting into the kitchen today. Make sure you ask your grown-up first. Next, you need 2 clear glasses or jars. I have 1 big one and 1 small one. You could use 2 big ones, 2 small ones, may or may not work, 2 clear jars, whatever you have. Clear is better because you can see what's going to happen inside the glass. You need to have food coloring drops, just like you get at the grocery store. It can be any colors you like. You need to have some cooking oil. I've got coconut oil just because it's totally clear, but you can use vegetable oil, you can use avocado oil or sesame oil. Don't use melted butter and don't use melted shortening. That won't work very well, so it has to be liquid form when you start. You also need some water, so I've got some water here in my funny little teapot. And you need a fork. Okay, pause this video if you need to grab all those things and play it when you're ready. Okay, in the large jar, fill it almost to the top with the room temperature water. So your water can't be too hot or too cold or you won't get the same effects. Okay. That might be another experiment you could try when you are doing this, maybe a couple of times. You could try it with a couple different temperatures of water. Pour a couple of tablespoons of oil into the other glass. You could measure it if you want to, but you don't have to. But remember, don't use all of your grown-ups cooking oil. Add a couple of drops of your favorite food coloring. Mine is blue, so I'm going to add blue today. And I want you to see what happens when we put the food coloring into the glass of oil. So you come down here and you can see it doesn't move around very much, just kind of sits there and does nothing. So now my assistant is going to stir the oil while we watch it, and you're going to stir it almost like you would scramble eggs in a pan. You can see how that's breaking up into little tiny drops. So you want that little tiny drops, little tiny drops, little tiny drops. Stir that for just a second while I put the camera back. And next you're going to pour the oil and color into the room temperature glass, and you're going to do it kind of slowly, so not all at once, but kind of slowly. Now what happens is food color dissolves in water, but not in oil. So when you pour your food coloring into the water mixture, the oil will float to the top because it's less dense, and the food coloring will begin to dissolve once they sink through the oil and into the water. Now you could try doing another experiment and use 2 different colors of food coloring when you mix the oil and food coloring together. You could try doing it without the oil and observe how the results might be different. You could try doing it with different temperatures of water. You could try doing it with a larger glass. You can see the water has separated and all that oil has floated to the top and all the food coloring's kind of fallen out of it. Oh, here comes some more. Pretty cool. I'm not sure if it reminds me of fireworks as much as it reminds me of jellyfish. Okay, kiddos, that was so much fun. I'm so glad you came for this today, and I'll see you next time.